we are live. We are live. If you're watching this back, thank you for watching this back. I'm Tom. This is Kentucky Football Nation. Let's talk about a little football, a little basketball. What's up, KOP's in here? Just decided to jump on this morning real quick. It's early. Sitting here, well, not real early, but I'm drinking my coffee. Early, but not early. I turned on KSR. They're talking about the snowstorm. Okay, it's going to snow. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get several inches of snow. It's winter. But so I thought, you know what? I can do better than that. I can talk about football. First of all, we have 105 people. The first spring roster came out, and there are 105 kids on our spring roster. So there you go. As I bring it up, I'm going to have to get this roster in order. I will put it in order of position. People don't even have numbers yet, so I'll just go by position. But we have 105 players, so that's cool. That's good. And I didn't know that on tight end here, we got several tight ends. Who am I looking at? Oh, there's my notifications. Okay, my notifications are late going out. If you're watching this back, took it a minute to come on. We'll see who comes on here. But no, as you look at this roster, a lot of people. 105. This is, steady players. Justin Caddis. That's got to be Josh Caddis's brother, right? So he's the tight end. So he must be like his brother. I'm going to say he's from Cincinnati. I'm going to say probably Justin Caddis is Josh Caddis's brother. I'm just going to assume that. So, wow. So we're good. How's everybody doing? Ethan, what's up, man? A little wrong. Man, I turned on KSR. They're talking about the weather and weathermen in Lexington. I'm not from Lexington, so I don't know who they're talking about. So I decided, you know what? Let's talk about some sports, for crying out loud. What's up, guys? 5 tight ends, yeah. So the spring roster's out. 105 people, 105 kids on this roster. So, got some good kids, some young people who haven't played, but that's okay. Now, I went on a Arizona State podcast last night, or live. I don't know if they're going to put it up as podcast, to talk about Cutter Boley. And there was a BYU guy on there, and he was talking about Shane Carr from Southern Utah. Because I'm like, I don't even know. This kid's from BYU. He knew everything about Mark Pope. But he said, no, Southern Utah is known for offense, spread offense, and throwing. So whoever this Shane Carr kid is from Southern Utah, he has played in a spread offense. And, I know he's a tall kid. What do they say he is? I lost him there for a second. He's 6'2", 190. Okay. So, all right. So that was good news. And people from Utah schooled me on that. Southern Utah is known as a small school, but a spread offense. So whoever Carr is, sounds like he's going to be a good wide receiver if you were watching this back. And so that's good. And what's up, Kentucky Rick? Football first, right? Yeah, sure. I mean, well, I don't know if it's the new motto, but it's always been the motto. I mean, I'll talk about basketball. We play tonight. I mean, we play tonight. So hell froze over because Cal took DJ out of the starting line. Cal took DJ out of the starting lineup. Oh, he did. Well, okay. Well, I don't pay attention to Arkansas really, guys. I really have only watched. This is the first year that I have not sat down and watched a lot of basketball because football was so. We got a new coach, and then there was the playoffs, and then, the national championship. There's so much going on. I haven't been able to watch. I've watched some Michigan. I watched some Arizona State. There's our Arizona. Look, guys, we couldn't even. I don't know if we could stay on the floor with Michigan. I mean, those dudes, man. I mean, we're going to have to pick it up if we want to make a run in basketball. But no, football. So much is going on with football. With the head coach getting here late, and But yeah, we got 105 players on our roster, so that's good. Of course, I see there's only 3 people in here. All right, I'll stay on for a few minutes. But no, whoever's in here, what do you want to talk about? The SEC podcast picked us last, so the SEC channel. I kind of went on a rant, but I took it off last night because it was probably a little too far. If you were able to watch that video, I had it up for about 2 hours, and I took it down. But the SEC network gets on my nerves. Because they have this narrative that we are the worst football program in the SEC. We are not statistically, as someone pointed out on their website. Then they have this little SEC shorts channel that they think they're Saturday Night Live, but they're just gonna have the narrative that we are the worst, and we're not. And you can't call them on it because it's a good old boy network. So little Ron, I saw that short. Now, did you see that, dude? I mean, we came in 11th, and I put on there. Somebody pointed that out, and I put out and I commented, well, there's a narrative here, and facts are optional because there's a narrative. And then we have, that's why, now listen, that's what made me so mad when you had KSR Writer go on SEC podcast and rip Mark Stoops because he was helping them with the narrative. That's what really bothered me about those guys. Don't go in there and help them. So, yeah, I got a real problem with that. But that's just me, Ron. There should not be a narrative. But the SEC SEC network, look, the good old boy network's over. They think look, we haven't won a championship in football in 3 years. The SEC not gonna, could we win one? Yeah, but now anybody can win one. Anybody, you can buy. SMU could win one. Memphis could win. Anybody in the SEC. The Fine Bombers hate that. They hate it. They hate that they're not. We can't hoard players. Georgia can't hoard players. Alabama can't hoard players. One of Alabama's best players went to Ohio State because they paid him more money. So you look, the good old boy network is over. You can have your cute little call-in show with Paul and yuck it up when the good old boy SEC podcast. You guys can yuck it up and say that we're going to come in last. You guys are just dinosaurs. They're dying. They're dying. That's what I think, Ron. Have all the transfers signed? Well, they're on the roster. The roster just came out, 105 man roster. I say man, kid roster. I'm going to assume since they're on the roster, they signed. So, yeah, they're on the roster. So, yeah, they have signed. And I'm going to assume they're on their way to campus to work out because he said we're going to be, in the weight room, working out, having meetings, doing team bonding things. So, yeah, whoever's on this roster, I'm going to assume is signed. So, yeah. Then we amuse. Yeah. Yeah. Well, our WKRP program is not the worst. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, look, SEC Network, you Fine Bombers. Only Josh Pate. I will give it up to Josh Pate. When Indiana won, look, the night of the national championship game, as you guys know, the good old boys, what the hell is that? Mike and cousin Shane were yucking it up, picking us last. Didn't even know who, one of them didn't even know, the Mike dude didn't even know who our quarterback was. So it's just ridiculous. And then, so look, they all picked Miami. Oh, they hated that Indiana won. The one reason I wanted to see Indiana win, guys, one reason, if you're watching this back, is I wanted to stick it to the Good Old Boy Network because we're not in the SEC. The SEC Good Old Boy Network is stuck in 2015. That's what they are. They're dinosaurs. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be where the SEC dominates. Kids aren't going to go to Florida because it's nice weather down there. They're going to go to schools that pay them. And you're not going to hoard players. And now you have everybody's on even ground. SMU can buy a team. Kentucky can buy a team. You can't sit here and start ripping us. They're stuck in the past. I love it. You can come in here. Don't go watch that. You can watch whatever channel you want to watch. So if you're just getting in here, I went on to Arizona State live last night to talk about Cutter Boley, and a guy on there was from BYU. We were talking about he knew Mark Pope, he knew Colin Chandler, but we talked about Southern Utah because I said we got a receiver from Southern Utah. I don't even know where that is, and he was telling me it's a good school. So Chainsaw, we'll find out tonight who they really are. Our football program's not the worst. That's true. Who they are. Oh, you mean in basketball, you mean? Find film on car. Little Ron. I don't know about film, but I got somebody that knows that if he's from there, they run a spread. Even though that's Eastern Kentucky. That's a low-level Division I, guys. That's Tarleton. I mean, there's schools Eastern. I mean, look, but if this kid's obviously Stein thinks he can, take this. He's 6'2", take the kid and make him into something. If the kid has ran this offense before or something similar, that's probably why he took him, because he's familiar. So yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'll look and see I'll look and see. I've never tried to find. I'll tell you what, Ron, for you, I will look and dig and see if I can find some film, even on Southern Utah, just the style of play they are. I'll see what I can find out. But that guy clued me in that, hey, Southern Utah is known in that area as if you want to go to a spread offense, that's the school you go to. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Give me something to do. I've got to take this 105-man roster and put it in order by position because it doesn't have some people aren't assigned numbers yet. So if you're just getting in here, we have 105 people on our roster already. So there you go. Now, will they all stay? No, there'll be some people will decide in the spring. I'm probably going to leave or whatever, but I think most of them will. So but no, the SEC network just go on and keep you good old boy dinosaur Cracker Barrel eating, some bitches you just don't get it. You just don't get it. So I just laugh at them. I just laugh in amusement. Go ahead. Yeah, you made fun of Indiana and they whipped your fucking ass. So now that's a comfort channel so that all the Alabama, all the Auburn, all the Florida fans can come on there and that's their safe space. See, Paul and all those good old boys, that's their SEC podcast. The reason it has so many viewers, that's their safe space. They're all going to go in there. It's like church. They're going to preach to the choir. Kentucky's awful. Arkansas sucks. Yeah, we're good. We're Auburn. We're cultured, right? We're uppity is what we are because we're the cream of the crop. I've seen this all my life, guys. If you're watching this back, I'm so happy Indiana won. I got to be honest with you. Yep, dinosaurs. Paul, mad looking, mad. You look like an idiot. They're going to learn. They're going to get onto it. Don't go to their channels. Come in here. Come go to somebody else's channel, Loyal BBN or somebody else. But no, guys. Tonight we play Texas. We're going to talk about basketball a little bit. Texas's point guard leads them in rebounds. He leads them in points, rebounds, assists, steals. Whoever this kid is, stop that guy. So, Ethan, what's up? I think Texas is a tough team. Yeah. They've scored 100. They've scored 100 3 times, and they've scored 60-something 3 times. So, if you watch my preview video from yesterday, which I got linked in the description here, they can score anywhere from 65 to 105 points, a 40-point spread. And sometimes they're either hot or cold. So, we don't know what we're going to get. Hopefully we get the version of that played against Tennessee where they lost like 77-69. And so, yeah, we just need to not get we don't need to run with them, I don't think, especially if they're on. So, yeah, they got 3 guards that average 13 to 15 points. And their center's good. He averages 15 points. So they got 4 scores. Okay. So they can do some damage. Man, Colin Chandler. I was on last night, if you're just getting in here, on a Arizona State podcast talking about Cutter Belly, but there was a kid from BYU. He was asking about Colin Chandler. And I was saying, I just wish he could stay in front of his man. Now, he helped us win the last 2 games, but don't watch him on defense because God knows. Jeez, man. So this is going to have to be a game where, we may have to muck it up and play like we did at Tennessee and get Diabate out there on one of those guys. And we need to get physical with them if we're capable of that. Quains is not playing. Okay, guys. I don't know when Quains is going to play. He may not play. I don't know how hurt. People ask me, is he really hurt? People think he's lying. I don't know if he's really. I'm going to assume the kid wants to play and that if he's hurt, he's hurt. But maybe not. Okay. So, we'll see. We just need to keep winning. 2 home games this week. Can't lose at home. Next week we play at Vandy at Arkansas. Gotta win these 2 games at home, guys. If we do that, then we set ourselves up. If we lose one of these games and go next week, Vandy and Arkansas, they're good, although Vandy's lost 2 in a row. But no. So that's my basketball update. That's tonight. And I'll watch it. It comes on at 6-7 Eastern. So, but no, getting back to football. Look, guys, look, I'm optimistic. We could be good. Screw the SEC network. You good old boys who said Indiana wouldn't beat Alabama and then pick us last. Yeah, pick us last, you stupid I mean, just illiterate, educated, illiterate people who push a narrative. That's all that is. It's a good old boy network. It always has been. Paul Finebaum, the good old boys on the Shane podcast. That dude Mike, he's a Tennessee grad. They hate Kentucky. Okay, well, we'll just see. We'll just see. You better hope, because if we're good, I'm gonna be in your ass. You can bet. I'm gonna be on here. I don't know how many people watch, but I'm gonna call you out on it now. And like we said, SEC shorts. The Saturday Night Live wannabe, Shane Gillis skit wannabe people dogging us out on that podcast, saying we got a failing grade in football, even though we finished. There's 5 teams worse than us, and I hate to break it to you, 2 of them are Auburn and Florida, so they didn't want to put that out there. So Big Blue Cat, love the press conference from Stein. I did too. Our wide receivers, but trust Stein. Okay, now you're in here late, Big Blue Cat. I went on a podcast last night and a a live / podcast for Arizona State football. Talked about Cutter Boley. There was a BYU guy in there. He said Southern Utah is known for throwing the ball, and they run a spread offense. So the reason now it's clicking. Okay, you're not going to hear this anywhere else. You're not going to hear this on KSR. You're not going to hear this on any other channel. I just found out, yeah, Southern Utah is known in that area, especially in the state of Utah, as where you go if you want to run a spread. So he said if that wide receiver is from Southern Utah, he can probably catch the ball and run a route because they are known for running a spread offense. Now, there you go. Inside baseball. You're only going to get that here. Okay, so this kid from Southern Utah, this Carr kid, excuse me, who's 6'2", he evidently we got him because he knows this somewhat of this offense that we're running. So there you go. Now try to get that from friggin', some other people. Try to get that on another channel. I just happened to luck into it, but I'm gonna take credit for it because he told me. So yeah, look, trust Will Stein. Look, we'll see about the wide receivers. DJ, Moore and people like that are going to have to, step up. I've seen some other people on here. The roster just came out. It's 105 kids on our roster. I'm going to break it down by position and put it on a spreadsheet, but we can talk about it. But no, we got some high school receivers that I don't know they can play. But yeah, as I look down through here, I don't know who Saxton Howard, a kid from Lexington. So yeah, we got a lot of high school receivers. And I mean, we got several. I thought we only had 4, but we got more than that. So look, we can still sign receivers. If we can find receivers from schools like Southern Utah that run a spread, that are maybe we can make them into something. Coach them up. Hey, guess what Kurt Cignetti did? Kurt Cignetti didn't go around and take people from Alabama, Notre Dame. He went around and took people from Southern Utah at schools like that and coached them up. So that's the formula, guys. You can't spend all your money, on you just can't buy a team, especially we're trying to do basketball. But little Ron, one guy was on the roster twice. Oh, was he? Well, then maybe we have 104 players. Well, maybe there's 2 of them. Okay, I did not know. Xavier Daisy from BYU. Okay, he's going to have to be, Kenny Darby would be the freshman that's supposed to be. But these other, we got some tall receivers. Yeah, I mean, who's the guy that I was just talking about? Justin Caddis. That's got to be Josh Caddis's brother, right? I saw Caddis on there. I'm like, Caddis, he's gone. So yeah, we got tight ends. And as I said, you can put Rodriguez down as a receiver. So you can have Boyer or Skinner and another tight end in there if he can catch, and you can line Rodriguez up if you had to. And he brought that up during the press conference. And I brought that up to you guys. Hey, this guy, Rodriguez, I mean, he could do it. I'm looking at, okay, well, one guy's on the roster twice. Okay, well, whoever he is. On defense, guys, we got some solid defensive players. Our defense is more solid than our offense right now. I mean, we have an offensive line, but we have injured players, 2 running backs and a wide receiver. I'm not really worried about the defense. I'm only worried about the offense. So, so yeah, Bateman knows what he's doing. Elijah Brown's on there twice. Well, that's all right. Yeah, we have Elijah Brown. So, man, we got tight ends that are good, okay? So we're good. Did you see the picture of Stein with Politowski? So that was on KSR. He went over to Cincinnati or they met somewhere. So yeah, it's good that Ponatoski's taking a picture. He says he's coming. I imagine he would. Well, I'm not going to say that. I don't know where he would be drafted in the MLB draft, so I don't know. Uh, but yeah, young receiving core, young receiving core. That's the only thing. And look, that can be fixed. That can be fixed. But no, the SEC, network narrative of we're the worst football program in the SEC is just false. It's just false. Now they want it to be like that. They want for Alabama and Auburn and Texas to think that. But let's just see when you line up and play us. Let's see. Let's just see. Vandy got exposed last night. Did they lose again? WKRP? Did they lose 3 in a row? See. I didn't get to see you last night because I was on this live with these Arizona State kids, guys, men, young men, and I didn't get to see any basketball last night. What happened? Did anybody get upset? I guess I could look at the scores, couldn't I? Arkansas gave them the belt. Oh, see, Vanderbilt's lost 3 in a row. Then our 3 out of 4. Okay, now Arkansas, listen, we play them a week from Saturday. You listen, sometimes every team in the SEC except for Florida and Texas A&M are up and down. They can just beat your ass one game and then they can lay an egg. So 93-68, man, Vanderbilt. Okay, they're sinking there. Okay, well, we get to play them. We play them the first game next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. So we play Texas at home, Ole Miss at home. We go to Vandy. We go to Arkansas. That's our next 4 games. Then Tennessee comes back around the next week. So look, we have the hardest SEC schedule left. We play Florida twice. So yeah, I mean, look, we got to finish. Look, we can't let up. We got to stop falling behind, for crying out loud. You can't keep doing that. So, we need to start playing better. Aberdeen needs to score 12 to 15 points a game. That's what we need. If he's going to be the point guard, then fine. Leave him out there and let him create his own shot. So we'll see, So that's tonight in Texas. And then, of course, we'll keep, we'll keep talking about football. Defensively, guys, we're loaded. I mean, we got, as far as bodies and, experienced guys. Offense, not so much experience. So, but that's okay. That's okay. The kid from Louisville, Kaufman, he hadn't played. Hopefully he'll be good, but at least he went through spring and a summer. But yeah, we're just going to have to figure it out. But yeah, we can still pick people up, and maybe we'll add offensive linemen. If you're just getting in here, I talked to a BYU guy last night who told me that Southern Utah, we got a kid named Carr as a wide receiver, and he said Southern Utah is known as a spread offense school, and he said if the receiver came from there, probably knows how to play in the spread. So that's why we got a kid from Southern Utah. See, yeah, you're not going to hear that on any other channel if you're watching that back. I lucked into the information, but I was on there talking about it. So yeah, evidently this Shane Carr, who's a senior. Okay, so he's a 1-year player. Okay, so this kid's experienced. He's played in a lot of games. Like I said, I'll try to find some film on him or something on Southern Utah to see if we can see any of their games. But, it is what it is, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So, but anyway, guys, yeah. So what's on your mind, WKRP? Ron, if you're still here, what do you guys, I'll talk about whatever I just want to jump on here and say, look, we have 105 people on the spring roster. And I don't think last year, I don't know if we did have 105 this early. So yeah, a lot of freshman wide receivers, like several. Some people I've never heard of. We should have a decent offensive line. We still have Malachi Wood. We still have some backups. We don't have a backup center, Abe Selm. No, Abe Selm is now Abe Selm is listed as a defensive end. Abe Selm was listed as an offensive lineman last year, right? I had him on the offensive line. Yeah, because I even put maybe it's the wrong position. This might be a typo. Yeah, there's no 6'4", 323 defensive end. Somebody got this wrong. Abe Selm is not a defensive end at 6'4", 323. Yeah, okay, they got it wrong. So that can't be right. Yeah, that'd be a hell of a defensive end. Jagger Burton is gone. Yes, Jake, Jagger Burton is gone. Yeah, thank God. I mean, look, man, he had on 2 knee braces. Now he could barely walk at the end of the season, guys. I don't know if you noticed that. Okay, they should have put Wilberly in. They were trying to redshirt Wilberly and have him for the next 2 years. They didn't want to use him. But yes, I mean, I love Jagger Burton, but that damn guy had 2 big metal knee braces on and stopped doing a false start. And he would get a lot of penalties. Um, so yeah, he is gone. But God bless. I mean, he played hard. He tried to play, but man, when I saw him with 2 in the Vandy game, he had 2. Man, he looked like he was wearing a suit of armor out there. So yeah, but yes, he is gone. So we are. I'm sure one of these other guys could be a center. I mean, you can, one of the backups. You can, Malachi Wood could be center. I mean, you can teach somebody to be center. So we'll see what they do. And of course, we have some high school. We have a couple high school offensive linemen. So Warner Robins, Georgia offensive lineman. That's an Air Force base right there in that town. That's an Air Force town. So yeah, we got some people on here that were not on the original high school roster. So DJ Miller, that kid's gonna play. DJ Miller. So yeah, if you're a wide receiver and you're on the roster, you probably gonna play. Yeah. So, but no, guys. Tonight is Texas in basketball. Need to keep winning. Um, okay, for the 12 people that are in here, would it be acceptable to make it to the Sweet 16? Because they were asking me last night, especially BYU guy was asking me, if you guys don't make it to the Sweet 16, it'd probably be yeah. If we only make it to the Sweet 16, would that be a bad year in the eyes of your fans? And I said, probably. Yeah, for the money we spent, yeah. But yes, Jagger Burton is gone. But yeah, basketball, we need to pick it up. We need to pick it up. Eight seed, yeah. Well, yeah, I remember that little run. That's what we need to do. I just don't know if this team's that good. I mean, they were good. They were just sloppy back then, and they just happened. Like they had the Harrison twins finally, as the year went on, and they hit their stride right at the end of the year. That's what we need to do. We need to hit our stride right at the end of the year. Be an 8 seed, just take somebody out like Michigan immediately and say, hey man, we're gonna play. I just don't know, guys. They were asking me about Mark Pope. What do you think is going to happen to him? And I just said, I don't know what's going to happen to him. A BYU guy was asking me who knew Mark Pope and knows BYU. And I said, man, I can't tell you what's going to, he's going to have to pick it up. We're not going to have I don't think we'll have a long leash with him. I mean, he'll get another year, but man, if we go out in the first or second round or don't make the tournament this year, our fans are going to start getting restless. So Stokes, we're still trying to sign kids. Guys, we haven't signed anybody. The Stokes kid, we're on his list. I don't know if you saw his list of, 5 or whatever. So we're on Stokes's list, but yeah. I can't tell you who we're going to sign. The Sweet 16 is always a successful year. Well, I mean, for $22 million, I don't know if we signed up for a Sweet 16. That's all I can say about that. A lot of our fans want more than that, and I get it. So, but man, we certainly overpaid some of these guys, but it's too late now. And Lowe got hurt. Lifelong UK fan. Not really for a lifelong UK fan. Yeah, right. Not for, I agree. You need to get, excuse me. Excuse me. I got something wrong in my throat. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to go to the Final 8. You got to get to the Elite 8. Something. Give us something for the money. Just don't understand what makes this team come out flat. Blue Cat, if we could figure that out. I mean, if he could figure that out. My whole thing with him is he doesn't have any answers. He's the coach. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But they certainly need to stop doing it because it's going to catch up to you. And we're going to get our ass beat like Vandy did last night. We're going to get pounded. And then our psyche is so fragile. I said our team will start fighting with one another. I told the guys on that podcast, I'm just glad we fought Tennessee and didn't fight ourselves. I mean, I was glad we showed some emotion at the end of that game. but yeah, hey, we can't fall down every game. Come on, man. Can we just be leading at halftime? We need to get these 2 home games, guys. Texas and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a good team. Texas is, I mean, they scored over 100 twice on good teams, not on scrub teams. They scored over 100 on Mississippi State and 100 on somebody else. I mean, look, North Carolina State. I mean, or they can score 65. So yeah, we're gonna have to pick up that win. But no, very optimistic about football. I just I just don't. The narrative is from the SEC network is, and it's always going to be. So just don't look for validation from the Fine Bombers. We're always going to be the worst. We're the basketball school. Arkansas, they've, even though statistically that's a bold-faced lie, but it's who cares about a lie, right? You're entertainment. You're Paul Finebaum. You're the good old boys on the SEC podcast. You can say whatever you want, and it's true, right? Right. We WKP, we've seen championship teams and they're extraordinary, right? Figure out how to stop worrying about the NCAA. You mean the tournament? Is that what you're talking about, WKRP? A little run. Basketball team could be the comeback cats, cardiac cats. I don't know. How about the slow ass cats, slow ass starting cats? Let's not get that nickname. I don't. This team cannot win a championship coming back. I mean, it's a cute little idea and all that, but we can't win. We can't go make a run in the tournament doing that. I mean, we'll lose the first game, guys, if we get down double digits. I mean, I just don't see us. I don't. You know, we can't. I mean, that's a nice nickname. And in '98, that was true. We had talent, and Tubby Smith is a hell of a coach and underrated, even though he had Patino's players. But that year, he did a good job of coaching, and we don't have those guys. We don't have Wayne Turner. But hell, we don't even have a friggin' point guard. And we got Aberdeen trying to be a point guard. But no, Mark Pope just needs to believe that if we're making a run, leave those guys in there. If we're playing good, leave those guys in there. That's what he needs to start doing. I don't care how many minutes they play. If you play 30, if you're playing well, 30 minutes. I mean, so look, guys, I don't know if you've watched Michigan, Arizona. Now I have looked at Michigan, Arizona. I mean, they blow us off the floor. If they blew Alabama, Arizona, they beat Arizona so bad. Alabama tried to run and shoot threes with Arizona, and it was a close game at halftime. And after halftime, they got blown. I think 35. I think Arizona won by 30. They just blew them off the floor. Man, there's teams that we just got to keep playing defense. And Colin Chandler has to improve. We need to keep improving. We don't need players to stay the same. Aberdeen, I know you're a senior. Keep improving. So it's up to the coach to figure it out. I don't know how you guys figure it out. Mark Pope, that's your responsibility, dude. That's what we pay you $5 million. I think $5 million a year. Look, man, you got to figure this out. Big Blue Cat probably get ran off the gym at Arkansas. Well, I mean, there's a potential that we could. I don't know if there's about 40. Now, if we just didn't make any shots, look, if we don't shoot the key, and I said this to the BYU guy last night on a podcast, we cannot shoot 30, 25, 33s. We need to shoot 15 to 20 like we are and just use it when we need it and it's there. Don't force it. We cannot stand around the perimeter and play a pure 5-out offense with one or two guys moving. That ain't going to work because we don't have 5 shooters. So he's figuring out that we need to just play regular basketball, drive downhill, get to the basket. Basketball is not that hard. If you're open, shoot it. If you're not, pass it. So he's going to have to figure it out. I think he's starting to figure it out. Let's see if Mark Pope keeps going. Keep going. Figure that out. Play Jelinek when you need to play Jelinek. Play him when you need to play him. Then sit him down. Cam Williams continues to disappoint me, guys. Cam Williams. I mean, we paid that guy a lot of money to score 2 points, to score 3 points. I mean, come on, man. Can't knock down threes. I mean, he's streaky. Can't get open, obviously, or he would have took more shots. But yeah, I mean, look, Play Jasper Johnson when you need to because he's good. Maybe this is some games you'll play him more, some games you'll play him less. WKRP, Tubby played the purest basketball of any modern UK coach. Yeah, he didn't have the best talent, but they kind of took on his personality when he was at Georgia. If you remember before that in Tulsa, that's the way they played. They play that, me, you ball, whatever that's called, ball line defense, I think. And, they were defense rebounding and tough. And yeah, so you forget he wins a championship because, it just didn't work after that because of recruiting. But we don't know what was going on. Now, listen, guys, recruiting is even. Every team could be good at football. Every team can be good at basketball because of money. Money has even everybody. I'm going to tell you, Puff, the Finebaumers hate this. Everybody's even now. And SMU can win a national championship if they buy it and get the right coach. Evaluating talent. Will Stein, if he's going to win, has to evaluate talent. You can buy players, but they got to be good. This Carr kid we got from Southern Utah, we just have to hope that he evaluated him and said, that's the guy. And he's a senior. So I imagine this Carr kid, there's a place for him in this offense if he's a senior. So evaluating talent, same thing in basketball. Don't overpay kids, And I'll still keep asking the question, are we going to go all in on football? Because that's what are mostly in on. I shouldn't say all in, mostly in on football. Indiana went. They don't care that their team and that their basketball team is average. You just won a national championship in football. They don't care what the basketball team does. But I just don't know that our fan base can put basketball down and try to make a run at football. If we really want to try to make the playoffs, if we really then put basketball to the side for about 4 or 5 years, if you see that Stein's going to be good, and make a run at it and stop spending so much money on it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. That's my idea. That would be my ideal situation for Kentucky football, is to let football spend more than basketball. Or significantly more. Look, you can get a basketball team for $5 million, $6 million, 5 good players and some role players. You can make the tournament, So I don't know how you guys feel about that. But you'd have to give Will Stein time to develop these players. And I just, if he has 2 really bad seasons, guys, our fans don't know anything. I mean, they're going to be wanting him gone. All the fake fans will come on. Of course, a lot of them are fake. But no, if you're just getting in here, I'm Tom. This is Kentucky Football Nation. If you're watching this back, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this back. We're not going to go long this morning. We've been on 37 minutes. Look, we have 105, 104. I think somebody's on there twice. Somebody pointed out. I think we have 105 players, and I see they made some grammar mistakes. Can you believe a website with writers that went to college and made grammar mistakes? Well, look, they're human. Some people are out of position. Somebody's on there twice. Look, it's human nature. I'm not gonna give them a hard time. But number 1 seed 2003. Yeah, he's at number 1 seed 98, 2003, 2005. Correct. Which one of those years did Bogans get hurt and got a sprained ankle, and we got beat by Marquette, Tom Crean, Marquette, because they had the NBA player? Yeah, if we would have had Bogans that year, if he could have played, we'd have made it to the Final Four. But injuries, Tubby was a solid coach. 2003, Little Ron. Yeah, when Keith Bogan sprained his ankle, look, he's our best player. I mean, well, Prince. I mean, but that hurt us. You get a high ankle sprain, and he tried to play on it. I mean, everybody knew he was hurt. The opposition. But look, basketball is random, as Matt Jones says. And KSR is on right now. They were talking about the snowstorm and weather. I mean, look, I don't live in Lexington, and I know it's cute, but man, can we talk about the game every once in a while? Let's talk about Greenland. Seriously? I mean, it's your show. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to have to turn them off, man. I'm not saying you have to be all in on sports, but, whatever. It's not I don't have a radio show, so how can I criticize them? But I can criticize before I get off there. The SEC Network, guys. Don't look for validation from these guys. These good old boys hate Kentucky. They hate Arkansas football. They hate Mississippi. Now they're going to use us. If Will Stein's good, they'll take credit. Oh yeah, look at Will Stein. If he's bad, they'll be the first one to get a shovel and start burying his ass. But not Auburn. See how much John Summerall. See how much he gets if he has a losing season and Will Stein has a losing season. Guess who'll be worse? We will be the worst, even though we beat Florida and we beat Auburn. And I can show you with facts. And they run their little narrative on their cute little Saturday Night Live SEC Shorts channel. And that's cute. Don't look at the facts, but you guys are dinosaurs. You're just preaching to your choir of Alabama, Auburn, Florida fans, and that's fine. You can probably stay afloat doing that, but Big Ten is going to kick your ass because I've said it before, guys, and I'll keep saying it. You watch the Big Ten Network or anything, they don't rip the other schools at the bottom. They try to pull Rutgers up. They try to pull their schools up to the top. They don't rip the people. The SEC, we eat our own because we're not in the good old boy network. So since we're not in the good old boy network, we're not good enough. Yeah. Ole Miss, as soon as you lose and you're not in the playoffs, you don't have Lincoln. You won't be in. You're not in South Carolina. You're not in the club. So that's all right. Keep doing it, and we'll just keep getting beat by the Big Ten. That's my final rant for this morning. Anybody else? When you want to talk about anything before we get off, guys? I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We're just going to have to get to next year and see what we can do. It's a brutal schedule for everybody because, as I pointed out, you just gave everybody, you just give 8 of the 16 teams an extra loss by playing another league game. That's about money, guys. It's about money. Oh, and the SEC Good Old Boy podcast and Paul Finebaum said the regular season games are more important than anything else. And I was like, man, you guys are stuck in 1995. Before I get off here, I have a Hal Mummy Paul Finebaum story in my archives. Just type in Hal Mummy in my archives and listen to what Paul Finebaum did to us back in the 90s. And Hal Mummy tells a story about Paul Finebaum. It was a good one. Oh my God, the Reds lost. Well, did they lose Ella DeCruz, Jake? I mean, that's Matt Jones's favorite player. I mean, they still got him for a couple of years, right? I wouldn't extend my contract because he's probably going to get paid. I don't know much about MLB, but he's going to get paid a lot of money. De La Cruz for the Reds, yeah. They should pay him whatever. He sells tickets. Don't let him go. Look, sports guys, people don't hang around. People don't hang around. So I don't know how many more years the Reds have him for, but ride it out and try and get him to stay. I mean, just open the checkbook. But if the Yankees want him, if Boston wants him, it's like, it used to be like that with schools if Alabama wanted him, but not now. He would have been the third highest paid major league player. Wow. Well, evidently, hey, what's up, Taylor? Now we were going to get off Taylor May, but I'll stay on for you, brother. 8 more SEC losses per year. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, everybody's going to lose I think you got $5 million for that game. We got $5 million to spend on players. It don't do you any good if you lose. I'm good, Taylor May. I was going to get off here, but I'll stay on for a few minutes for you. We were talking about we got 105 people on the football roster. All of one of them's down there twice, maybe 104. And we're talking about the Texas game tonight. So what's on your mind, Taylor May? I'm on my lunch break. Well, if you're on your lunch break, let's go to what's on your mind, dude? What's on your mind? We're talking about this. Okay, real quick, since you're on your lunch break, I'll go fast review. Southern Utah wide receiver. I was on an Arizona State podcast last night. There's a guy from BYU. Southern Utah is known as a spread offense school. He said if that wide receiver played at Southern Utah, he played in a spread offense. Shane Carr, we picked him up. He's a senior. He was picked up because of his experience in the spread offense, is what I'm guessing. And you heard it here. You will not hear that anywhere else, but you heard it from me. So there you go. Do we have that can make a splash? We don't need a splash. We just need to get in the pool. Shane Carr, the kid from Southern Utah, is a senior. He needs to make a splash. The kid from LSU, He needs Nick Anderson. He needs to make a splash. Everybody, I don't care. I don't know about splash, but just get in the pool and just swim for me, okay? Just catch the ball and move the chains. So I don't know other than Nick Anderson, but we'll see. Running back room's going to be good. Yeah. I mean, look, man, we got Patterson, Barnes, and Baxter. Now, as long as they're not hurt, like I said, we have a wide receiver and two running backs that were not playing last year due to injuries. And Nick Anderson had multiple injuries. So yeah, some of these guys have been hurt multiple times. Keep your fingers crossed that as long as we got Patterson. Patterson's a good all-around back. He can catch the ball. That's what the running back in this offense has to do. So look out for Patterson. Let's see. I bet you he does some special things this year. So yeah, I feel like we can seriously compete in SEC. I have no idea, TaylorMade, but neither does anybody else. And if you're just getting in here, the SEC network is pushing the narrative right now that we are the worst team in the football program in the SEC, which is a lie, a bold-faced lie. They know we aren't the worst, but they don't want to make Florida look bad. They don't want to make Auburn look bad. So the good old boy network is imploding, Taylor. Yeah, they did a SEC shorts. I don't know if you watched that cute little comedy, Shane Gillis, Saturday Night Live wannabe channel. They said we got a failing grade in football, but they gave teams we beat and we're ahead of a better grade. Okay, all right. So anyway, no, I don't know, TaylorMade, but we're gonna find out. I don't know. Our quarterback hadn't played. Will we gel? Will we? It's kind of like the basketball team. We didn't gel, guys. It hasn't worked so far. They've struggled. So Taylor, I don't know, but I hope so. And I hope we upset somebody, and I hope the good old boy network does not. They're scared of us. Look, just tell you something. You don't talk about people that you're not afraid of. So yeah, they're worried. They're trying to hedge their bets against Will Stein. Okay, yeah, well he could be good. Yeah, how we're the worst team in the SEC? I don't know. It's some Tennessee grads. I mean, no offense to the good Tennessee fans. The rest, these guys are morons. Yeah, yeah. We're not the worst program, and I hate to break it to you. Look at the stats. It's they don't look at the numbers. It's just how we feel like they're stuck in 1998, 2005, the Fine Bombers, and that's why the Big Ten is kicking our ass because we're still trying. The South will rise again. That's where we're at now. The Paul Finebaum, look, they're making one last stand. Okay, make one last stand here, you guys, and we'll see. The only coach I would trust is Kirby Smart. I think Kirby Smart will figure it out. But all these other coaches, John Summerall, the dude at Auburn, they're in the same spot we are. We're all even now, where everybody can spend the same amount of money. Indiana can win it. SMU can win it. We could win it. We have to spend more on football. Little run to measurements. The big blue wall is back. Yes, our starting five. Yes, they're back. Yes, we are. If sign, then he obviously sees something. Yes, TaylorMade. Yes. Like when I got the information on the Southern Utah, because I'm like, I never heard of this school. They're in Eastern Kentucky. They're in the lowest. I mean, they're in Tennessee Tech territory. But the guy from BYU assured me that program is known for spread offense. So evidently this kid he's a senior. So just let's see how good he is. Miami stole Duke's quarterback. Well, there you go. Contracts mean nothing. Now, Jake, good point. I can sign. Look, our guy Minchie could leave right now. He could leave in the summer. He go, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going. That contract doesn't mean anything. What's up, Wildcat Highlights? Duke is suing. Okay, well, I mean, if you signed a contract, I would think it was legally binding. So look, we're going to get into all this mess. I don't know what's going on with Tennessee, but they're freaking out because their athletic director does not want to spend a lot of money. There's got to be a reason. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, they should sue. Duke should sue that quarterback if he left. Now we're going to get into the name, image, likeness. Look, it's the Wild Wild West, and it's pro football. That's what it is. So, I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, we have 105 players if you're just getting in here. on our roster right now. So, hey, we got 105 people, a lot of high school players, a lot of high school wide receivers. So we're gonna find out. But no, I think we'll have a good starting 11 on offense and a good starting 11 on defense. Defense, I'm not worried about. We even had depth. I think on defense, we're good. We are good on defense. Who needs to play well against Texas? Whoever guards their point guard, WKRP, their point guard leads them in scoring, assists, rebounds, and steals. I forgot his name. It's on my video I just did yesterday. Whoever guards that guy has to do well. They have 4 scorers, 3 guards who can score about 15 points a game. Got to stop them. Defense, tailor-made and regulate NIL. I just don't know who's going to step in because it's not going to be the government tailor-made. That's just it, as Matt Jones said. There's nobody to step in. You're going to go to Supreme Court. It's not a union. It's free commerce. Now you're going to start getting into laws of, there ain't going to be stepping in. The first person that tries to go after LSU for spending money, it's going to go into court, and the Supreme Court already ruled on name, image, likeness. So to try to put in a salary cap, I just don't think it's legal, and it's going to get nasty. We'll see. Do you feel about the wide receiver room? Wildcat highlights. See what you can find on Southern Utah. You're just getting in here. Okay, so I went on a Arizona State podcast to talk about Cutter Bowie last night. There was a BYU guy on there who knew BYU, knew basketball, football. He said Southern Utah. I told him we're Southern Utah, and he said Southern Utah is known for throwing the ball, spread offense. So he said if the receiver you got came from Southern Utah, he knows how to operate in the spread. So I think I feel a little better about Shane Carr because he's a senior, 6'2". See what you can find on him. I don't know if you could find. I mean, they're down there in Eastern Kentucky, Tennessee Tech territory. But I feel better once this kid told me that, Southern Utah is known in that area as, if you're a wide receiver, that's the school to go to. So made me feel better. Oh my God, that's one of them. That's Lady. She's sleeping on the blanket. I can't move her, so I had to make it look slouchy. Don't look at the room. She's a daddy's girl cat. Lady is her name. I have a couple cats in here, but I'm an animal guy, animal lover. But no, Wildcat. I feel better about Shane Carr. I mean, I wish we had a little more depth. We have like 6 high school receivers. If you look at this roster that came out last night, 6 or 7 high school receivers. I mean, we can still pick people up. So yeah. She's a beautiful cat. I have 2 white cats, but yeah, white cats have an attitude, guys. Now I know why they're on a meme. I used to think, why are they putting a white cat on there? White cats have attitude. If you're going to get a cat, get a white one and see the attitude on them. Because they definitely have attitude. We're talking about cats. Well, it's a Wildcats channel, so. Yes, Taylor May brings up a good point. DJ Miller has to have a good season. I wish we could have kept, the other kid, Miller. I wish we could have kept Miller, but we didn't. So DJ Miller's going to get his chance because he made a couple good catches at the end of the year. Look, this offense is one-on-one, guys. I keep saying it's one-on-one. You're out there on an island. Hopefully they will double Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson needs to be so good that they have to double him. He's going to be the X receiver by himself out there. And then you got other receivers. Look, you got to go up and get the ball. That's why Harley Gilmore left. No way in hell could Harley Gilmore. He couldn't win a one-on-one against anybody. He's too small. So, we need big, tall receivers or people that can run around and get open. So I have a lot of videos, guys, in my archives about, I say a lot, several videos about Will Stein's offense. You can go look at it. The mesh concept. We're going to be crossing over the middle, trying to pick people. They're not going to be able to bring everybody up on us because we'll run right past you. So this offense, you have to be careful with it as a defense. So we will get the first couple of yards off the line of scrimmage hopefully on a couple of the receivers. And then you adjust your route, and then Minchie has to make the read on what you just ran and where you're going, and boom. So Cutter Bowley would not have done well in this offense, guys. I don't think. Now, I'm not a player, I'm just saying, you look at Will Stein's offense at Oregon or at UT San Antonio, ball's got to come out. Reed's got to be quick. I just don't think Cutter Boley, and he can't run. You need to be a running quarterback, not a scrambling quarterback. So, but no, look, we just got to execute the offense. However, Taylor makes it in the spring. Let's see what we got. We're going to do an outside zone run. And so, look, there'll just be some basics that he has done at both schools that we will probably do. So I'm not a coach, nor am I a player. If you want to really know about football, go to the Locker 411, the Locker 411 with Anthony White and Van Hiles, and subscribe to them because they know what they're talking about. Big Blue Cat. It's going to be nice to see an offense and not know what the play call is. Well, look, you still got to run the ball, Big Blue Cat. You still got to run the ball. We are not going to throw our way in the SEC. Still got to run it. When it's 3rd and 1, guess what you're going to do? You still got to run it. So, I mean, I understand what Mark Stoops was doing. That's what Miami was trying to do in the national championship game. They just sucked at it in the first half. They were not trying to get in a shootout with Indiana. The reason they were able to keep that game in the 20s is because they were trying to run the ball and play defense. Blue Wildcat. Doesn't Dillingham and Arizona State run the same offense? No. Yes, but Cutter Boley will not be able to run that because they have a running quarterback. So they're going to, they run a similar offense at Arizona State, yes. But he said they went in the portal and got all stud wide receivers. So they went higher in the portal and got the best receivers. So Cutter Boley is going to have a really good receiving core. I don't know about his offensive line, but he's going to have some good receivers is what they're telling me. So but he's not going to take off running. And, look, he can run a quarterback draw, but he ain't going to be running outside, bootleg and stuff like that. No, I don't think so. So Dillingham will have to tailor it to him. And I had to tell them to stop looking at his numbers because we were behind in the last 2 games. And, Finebaum's picking the Cats to come in last. Of course he is, Jake. Those Finebombers, look, man, you guys suck. I wish I could get on one of their channels. Man, you guys, they always pick. Good. Pick us last. And when we don't come in last, we're all going to get on here and call your ass out because we weren't last year. See, Jake, they're just hoping we're last. They were hoping Miami could win the national championship. They were hoping because they're the good old boys, and they got to live in 2005 and 2005 where Alabama and Nick Saban and Auburn were the cream of the crop. I feel like playing a banjo with Dixieland on it. They're the fucking Confederacy down there. I live down there. The South will rise again. Well, let's see if the South rises again because everybody's level now, and the Big Ten has more money than the SEC. And Paul Finebaum had to concede that. So you boys just keep, we're the only conference that dogs the people at the bottom of the league. You tell me what other conference does that. Big 12 doesn't do that. Big 10 doesn't do that. They try to pull each other up. We got some good old boys that feel like they're superior. It's supposed to be where Alabama's the winning Auburn. Well, it ain't now, boys. You're dinosaurs. So you know what, Jake? Let's go whip their ass, and then we'll get on here and we'll rip their ass, and they can do their cute little Saturday Night Live, Shane Gillis skit, and say we're the worst team, but we're not. We all know we're not. So you know what? Don't look for validation from them. They're clowns. They're nothing. They're done. They're nobody. They're going to get on there and cry to one another on Paul's show. Paul, Alabama's going to be. I can't understand what the fuck you're saying. Why don't you take that chaw out of your mouth and speak some English, dude? I can't even understand. I need subtitles on that show. I mean, come on. I mean, Jesus Christ, did you finish 8th grade, dude? I mean, I can't understand what the hell you're saying. WKRP, when they saw we overachieved, we'll say Paul underachieved. Paul's an idiot. Paul's a dumbass. He's been exposed. He's a homer. He's a Tennessee grad. Loves Alabama. We should give him all a banjo and let him sit on the front porch and sing songs about how great Alabama is. And Auburn and Florida, John Summerall, please, John Summerall, please. They're just hoping. Dinosaurs, gentlemen. Dinosaurs. Forest for the trees, gentlemen. Forest for the trees. Can't get past it. They're mentally ill. It's a mental illness. SEC-itis is what it is. I'm going to call it. I'm diagnosing those guys with SEC-itis. They're sick. They're mentally, they can't get past the fact that it's not 2015 and Nick Saban not here. And so, you know what? Play your banjos, go to Cracker Barrel, put some chaw in your mouth, and pretend like it's 2015. And you will continue to get your ass kicked by the Big Ten. So, stupid, gentlemen. Stupid. Yes, you did, Sixer. I'm going off. Hey, look, I did a video and I took it down last night. If anybody see that video, I had it up for about 2 hours. My wife said, "Don't put that on." I was ripping after Indiana won. I was ripping them, you know. So yeah, the SEC network, morons, educated, literate. I mean, they're literate, and you know they got their own network. They're the good old boy network. They're going to use this for basketball. Now, basketball season, it's Kentucky. Oh yeah, football season, nope, nope. Arkansas, Mississippi State, no. South Carolina, no. Ole Miss, as long as you win. So our roster was assembled. Yeah, I mean, look, TaylorMade. It is what it is. Look, the SEC podcast, and I like Cousin Shane and that dude, whatever the hell his name is, and not know who Minchie was. Your connection is okay. Well, if I'm still, they were going to use Mark Stoops. Oh, I just lost my connection's unstable, guys. If I'm going in and out with the video, I don't know. I'm getting a warning that says connection is unstable. Okay, I think I'm stable now. I think we're good. I think we hit a little turbulence. Let me take off the autopilot. And so yeah, okay, I got 23 people. I'm gonna stay on, guys. I was gonna get off, but I'll stay on. No, we're talking about the SEC network. TaylorMade is giving me a connection is unstable warning. They didn't validate. We're freezing up here. They did not validate Indiana either. So they didn't validate Indiana. They want to pretend like Indiana didn't win. Okay, okay. Live in your little dream world. Live in your, keep smoking it, boys. Live in your own little dream world, and you're gonna get beat again. That's the Big Ten's won what, 3 in a row? Anybody can do it, guys. It's the weather. Yeah, I don't know why my internet. I mean, it's raining out there, but anyway, if you're just getting in here, we're just kind of ripping the SEC network because they suck and they deserve to be ripped. And anybody, like I said, if you're just getting in here, I had a problem with our writers, with the KSR writers, going on an SEC podcast and ripping Mark Stoops when they don't like us anyway. You're helping them. You're helping them treat us like shit and be disrespectful. That's why I had a problem with our guys doing it, and I always will. I would have took up for our football program immediately and said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Let's look at the stats here." But our guys didn't do that. They want to be friends with the enemy. Okay, be friends with the enemy. Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to wait a minute. If you're watching this back, I don't know whether you're seeing this or not. Okay. Okay. Now I'm back. I know I'm going in and out here, guys. I'm going in or out. People are getting off now. All right, guys. Anybody want to talk about anything? Julie, I don't know why my connection is doing that. If you're watching this back, I don't know what happened. But I will wait. Anybody want to talk? We've been on an hour. So you saw my rant on the SEC network. They suck. They're going to figure it out one day. No, they won't. No, they won't. Yeah. The South will rise again. I told you I lived down there, guys. I spent 6 years. 6 years. 4 in Columbus near Starkville and Tuscaloosa, and Oxford, and 2 in Montgomery. I know all about them. I watched it. I went to the games. I observed what they did, and I get it. Miami played dirty. Well, I don't know if they played dirty, but look, they were doing what they had to do to win the game. So, look, they didn't win, Julie, so they can play any way they want. IU blocked a punt. Special teams, they blocked a punt. They went for it on 4th down, and they intercepted a pass. And all the fine bombers, except for Josh Pate, I will give a shout. Josh Pate was the only guy that was stood up and said, okay, they've done it. They ran a 3-minute mile under a 4-minute mile or whatever. So now that they've done it, it can be done, right? So now other people will do it. Let's hope we are one of them. But yeah. But no, Julie. Hey, Indiana, congratulations, Indiana. My guys are happy. Look, my guys are happy. Some of them still can't believe it. One of my really good friends, texted me and said, "I still don't believe it's real. It's real, man. It's real. You did it." So I'm just glad they won because I'm tired of the SEC network thinking they freaking know football better than anybody else. Well, obviously, you boys don't. So they'll be rooting for LSU, Lane Kiffin, John Summerall. That's the new star. So